Greetings, world of the internet. I am the great Matthew Sweetman. Who is calling me with a call? Oh, it is my sister. Hang on, I need to take this. What do you want? I am busy. No, you cannot borrow one of my death rays. No. Mom has the rule. Now that you live on your own, you'll deal with your own problems. That means making your own weapons of destruction. Now, why do you even need to borrow one of my death rays? Don't you have a carnivorous sheep to eat, boys you don't like? Greetings, the world of the internet. I am the great Matthew Squeak, and welcome to Squirrel Talk Review. Loud House is one of those concepts that just begs you to take a look, like a certain other concept. This one's ploy to draw you in. We have a boy living in a house with his sisters. All freaking 10 of them. Yeah, count them if you want. So we've got one boy living in a house of girls. I feel so sorry for you. And they actually put Lincoln Loud, yes, that is what the Loud stands for, right in the middle of the family, making him equally a little brother as well as a big brother. Every sister has a different personality, and that equals a goldmine of possibilities. So we're going to check out the Loud House, starting with one where we can get to know everybody. This is Project Loud House. Cue the opening!
Crashing through the crowded halls, dodging girls like ping pong balls just to reach the bathroom on time. Leaping over laundry piles, diapers you can smell for miles. Guy's gotta do what he can to survive. In the Loud House, in the Loud House.
It's upbeat, it's catchy, and tells you the tempo of the show. This opening, though short, is quite simply amazing. Oh, yes, it does have a fair share of that type of humor as well. The thing you will notice straight away is the comic strip style layout, and obvious inspiration for the art. It is beautiful in its simplicity. The show itself is rather goofy with the quirks of the characters and story arcs, so why not take on a wacky world of a comic strip? The main character will even address us, the audience, repeatedly, much like the way, say, Garfield would do.
Our class assignment is to do a report on our families. With 10 sisters, I can sum up mine in one word: chaos!
In this episode, Lincoln here needs to get his school project to school on time, and in one piece. And you will quickly see that is no easy feat in the Loud House.
The 10-headed beast has awoken.
Oh yes, things are about to go nuts. And as I said earlier, this episode is a good way to see all the sisters and briefly get to know all of them. So let's meet new people! Luann, the comedian.
Failure is not an option. Get it?
Luna, the rock star. Laura and Lana, the twins. Yep, they all start with L's. The mother, I know it was her, actually named all 11 kids with an L name. That certainly doesn't make it hard to remember who is who in this household. Back to the twins, and believe it or not, the only twins in this show. Lana, Laura, that one is the typical super pink prissy princess. What's good about this is that it both fills the quota for having one, but not being obsessed with girls being pink and princessy. Example, her twin, Laura, that one is the biggest tomboy in the house, which is the other most commonly used girl characteristic. Much like many twins, they're bickering over this and that, but Lincoln has a schedule to keep.
Half for Lola, half for Lana.
Thanks, Lincoln!
I totally had it right. I totally knew which one was which. Moving on the introduction train.
Good morning, Lincoln. Good morning, Lucy.
That's Lucy! Lily is the baby. Lynn is the super athlete. The eldest is Lori, at 17, so we know she's hitting the road in another year. Wouldn't you?
Capable of doing two things at once. Money?
That's Lenny. She's, what is the word I want to say?
Stupid.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9...
Okay, let's get you downstairs.
She's gonna blow!
Or not.
10, of course. If we have a stupid one, we need a smart one. Yet her brother has to do this.
Lisa, you're always forgetting the dinotrotoline.
Silly me. Much appreciated. I'm still alive!
That's comforting, and that is our cast. Quite the bunch of characters. And Lincoln is far from being out of the woods yet. But he continues to be the man with the plan, dodging masked hoodlums, keeping the peace.
Hey, no cutting! Thanks, Lincoln!
I just have to ask, where are the parents in all this turmoil?
Has anyone seen my zip cream?
I literally found the cutest dress to wear. A word that rhymes with stuck.
Look, how do you stop a rhino from charging?
How long is this hallway? And how exactly did Lucy appear twice, creeper?
Where the heck are my roller skates? I got field hockey today.
Wait, there's no roller skates in field hockey.
The way I play there is.
You are one scary girl. And thus stage 1 is done.
Thank you!
You're welcome. We brush past breakfast, not sure how he had time to cook all of this, and it's finally time for...
Time for phase 3. Getting you out the door in one piece.
But the eldest with the driver's license has a mental breakdown.
So close. Wait!
They're like a pack of sheep. They'll wander off if you turn your back. So Lincoln begins pondering how to overcome the most recent...
I'm blue!
Did she just say blue? No, she really is blue.
Lisa, what did you do?
You turned your sister into Smurfette. This is diabolically evil! And I approve. Well, it's one thing after another, and the herd disperses.
I have finished my poem. It's called Failure.
Lucy, I really don't have time for...
Failure. It is not an option, yet it's something you choose. The man with the plan is destined to lose.
Lily, where are your clothes?
But Lincoln is determined to make it to school on time, reclothe the baby, reherd the sisters, continue keeping the peace.
Here's the antidote.
Thank you! Wait a second. The real antidote?
You are an entertaining evil genius. I'd hire you in a heartbeat.
Failure. It's all your fault, this streak of bad luck.
Oh, snap, it's still going. There is only one way to defeat it. Hit it, Lincoln!
I've got a poem for you now. It's called Lucy. Dark as night, hair like tar. Take your spooky self to the car.
Sigh. Once again, your poetic brilliance has put me to shame.
He tricks Lori to be happy again, and officially has all 10 sisters out the door and in the car. Or not.
It's my gear, dude. I have rehearsal.
And who is that?
This is my roadie chunk.
What is a roadie?
Whether they're lifting the heaviest equipment, fighting off crazy fans, or just offering moral support, roadies work behind the scenes to make all magic on stage possible.
Thank you, Steven. You always know how to properly explain things.
No prob, Bob.
Car is loaded, but tragedy strikes. Or it doesn't. I was really expecting something bad to happen to it.
That was close. Ah! All of this work for nothing. How could I be so stupid? How?
On you old heck!
So what's the moral of the story?
Failure. It is not an option, yet it's something you...
Despite everything, all the insanity his sisters provide, they're pretty awesome sisters when it counts.
In conclusion, in my family, every day is a challenge. But you can be sure that when I need them, my sisters will always be there for me. All of them. And sure, life in the Loud House can be summed up in one word. Chaos. But I love that chaos. And I wouldn't trade it for the world.
That was a fantastic report, Lincoln. I'm giving you an A.
Make that an A-.
Except Luann, darn you! So that was part 1, and my initial thoughts are, this show is really great. I love the diverse personalities of the characters, and each one is in their own way likable. Even Luann. The story had a lot of things going on, flying across the screen, but it never really felt like the story was rushed. And I especially like how thick and through they came together in the end. And I don't know about you, but I just can't wait to get to part... Excuse me for a second. What did I say about using my death ray? Yes, and make sure you get somebody to clean that up, and have the professor of boringly worthless facts change the passwords to anything else dangerous in the lab, and feed brother while you're at it. Sorry about the delay. My sister can get a little emotional when men are not giving her the respect she deserves. So it's on to part 2 of Loud House, and this one is intense debate. Oh, alright, that's clever. We find out that the house is not always ruled by chaos, but by democracy.
And finally, the motion to ration shampoo due to chronic shortages passed. By a hair!
Alright, who put Luann on scribe duty? It's vacation time at the household, but the choice of Scratchy Bottom Campgrounds is almost universally hated for various reasons.
That place is the worst. Bears always steal our food. And the Dipterum calicidae are the size of musculus nivelis.
Professor? Steven? Somebody want to tell me what that was?
The mosquitoes are the size of weasels.
You're still awesome. Lincoln decides to convince the parents to take them somewhere more pleasant. Speaking of which, let's meet these busy bunnies.
Fine with us, sweetie.
Sure, son. I don't see why not.
The parents are faceless. Much like other comic strips. Have I said how much I love this art style?
So, which is it? Aloha Beach or Dairyland?
Oh, they didn't say. I guess it's up to us to decide.
So the story has shifted into where do they want to go, and Lincoln has the deciding vote.
I don't know. I can't decide. I need more time. Can I have till the end of the day?
Fine. You have until the end of the day to decide.
Oh, how quickly do things fall. This is an incredibly overused mechanic. Just about every show out there does this in one way or another, where a main protagonist has to decide who's gonna be their +1, who gets the extra ticket, or whatever else they have to decide. You can change it to whatever you want, but the base mechanic always stays the same. Cue the early favors attempting to sweeten the pot.
Cleaning my room? You guys aren't trying to get my vote for Dairyland, are you?
Of course we are.
At least someone is smart enough not to try to hide the obvious. So just like every other show out there, the favors start getting more and more extravagant, and Lincoln starts getting more and more comfortable of taking advantage of the situation. They continue to try and keep the same charm the show has.
What's that?
It's your homework. All done.
You did it?
I did.
Phew.
But still, ultimately, it's still the same gimmick. We move on to and past the full abuse of power. The final stage is where the victims become tired of waiting on the perpetrator hand and foot, and demand an answer.
Orn, can I have just one more day?
Why, you lousy little...
Not a problem.
And with favors not getting the desired results, they will either start using a little underhanded trickery, or go too far over the top with the favors to start annoying Lincoln, who will then learn his lesson.
No more cocoa before bed. What's going on?
Waiting in line for the bathroom. Better get used to standing in lines if you're going to vote for Dairyland.
Whoa, what are we doing? This is not what I meant by underhanded trickery.
What? Sorry, this ride is temporarily closed? No!
This is a straight up brutal smear campaign, and it is hilarious.
Freezing! do you vote for the beach?
Because the average ocean temperature is 16.6 degrees Celsius.
This is a case of really turning the tables on the one abusing their power, and really letting him have it. And the only way to save his hide from angry siblings?
Great. I was afraid of making 5 of my sisters mad at me, but now all 10 are. There's only one thing left to do.
Fine with us, sweetie.
Sure, son. I don't see why not.
Is to have them going camping after all. But now it's Lincoln doing the waiting on hands and foot.
It may not be much of a vacation for me, but it's worth it if all 10 of my sisters are happy. I'd say everything turned out A-okay.
So that was the Loud House. These guys, the guys who made this, are comedic geniuses. Everything about this was good. The premise is good. I love the comic strip style. The characters are enjoyable. The humor is hilarious. And it even finds time to squeeze out some morals in the end. This show was brilliantly created. Even the ending credits rock.
Cramped inside this tiny space. May sound bad, but ain't the case. In the loud house. Sucking dodging.
They even managed to do the impossible. Take predictable, overused gag and plot mechanics and twist new spins into them. That alone makes this show stand miles apart from anything else, making it a breath of fresh air in a world of a dime a dozen shows. So if you get the chance, go check out The Loud House. It's got a lot of laughs, great characters, and a brilliant animation style. I am the great Matthew Squeak, and this is Squirrel Talk Review. I thank my loyal subjects for watching. Please like and subscribe to me, or else my sister may become emotional with you. Also, you may donate anything you wish to donate here at Patreon.